Hey guys, this is AC Locke here, and this is just for the heck of it right now. And I stopped today. I'm in Cincinnati right now at a convention, sitting here in a hotel room, and I stopped for a moment today to put together just a really short slide presentation. Posted something kind of controversial yesterday on my social media, and shared a quote from Howard Partridge. Howard Partridge is an international business coach and best-selling author. And he said during his class, and I quote, I don't care about pay-per-click. I don't care about SEO. I don't want to be found on the internet. And so I quoted that, end quote, quoted that, put that up on my Facebook and social media, and it immediately turned into a very controversial post. And that was okay. I love controversial posts because they get people thinking about their business and about their life, and adjust the paradigms they have in their life, their worldview, so to speak. That's a popular buzz phrase right now. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about something that goes very hand in hand with that. It'll help explain Howard's mindset behind that. And it's a concept I've been talking about for several months. It's been stewing around in my brain for years, but I hadn't really, you know how something you have it in your head, but you can't put it into words. And then one day it just kind of hits you and you come up with a formula or an equation or a way to state it that makes sense. Well, it's been about 6 months that I've had this formulated in a way that makes sense. And I've been presenting at a lot of our sales boot camps and our marketing boot camps, and even at some of our Discover Soft Wash events that we have at one of my businesses, Soft Wash Systems. I've been talking about it on the road, had some of the presentations I've been doing, and just kind of throwing this grenade out there. And it's a grenade. I take it and I throw it out into the audience, and everybody scurries and looks back and wonders what's going to go on with this grenade. And it's the fact that you're an absolute failure. You might be in your service business. And people are like, but hold on, I've got a business, it's successful, it's making money, it's supporting me and my family. And that's great. You know, we already know through great books like The E-Myth from Michael Gerber, that there are people that are technicians, and then there's entrepreneurs or people that work, you know, in their business, and there's people that work on their business. And a lot of us don't have a business, we have a hobby, or what we did is we bought a job to where we may not have a boss anymore. The boss might be your wife, or it might be the bill collector, or might be something else. It might not be a traditional way of working, but you're just working. You're a day-to-day working stiff in your business. And how do you break free from that? How do you end that? And that's a very important discussion to have. And I thought it would be great to go ahead and load up some slides, because just trying to explain this concept leaves people confused some, because we all have, we're self-disposed to hearing messages based on our own prejudices and our life experiences. And when I mention some of these principles to people, everybody hears it completely differently. And many people don't get the point, because I think they're still living inside the matrix, and they don't want to face the facts. So I'm going to talk about some facts with you here, and I'm going to bring you into it slowly. I'm going to warm the pot of water around you. You're the frog in the pot of water, and we're bringing up the temperature little by little so that you can get comfortable with the fact that I'm getting ready to fry your butt. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be good for you, and you're going to love it. Okay. So this is good growing stuff. So I want you to hold on. You're getting ready to grow. Okay. Let's grow together. Let's not buy into the bull crap this world tells us. Let's live above it. Let's live excellently. Let's do something different so that we can live different. So we can live like nobody else, like Ramsey says. So let's go ahead and jump into this, and let me explain why you might be an absolute failure in your service business. Okay, let's click through this. All right, so I owned a company called Mallard Systems. I'm kind of the patriarch. I didn't invent soft washing, but I'm the patriarch. I'm the guy that really formalized it and create an industry out of it and systemize the business and breathe life into it. So I've done a lot for the industry, but I've only done a lot for the industry because I really systemized my company And I had a lot of reports and spreadsheets and things that I kept, and I've been able to find elementary truths in the service business. And I am a third generation service business entrepreneur. So there's some things that I know because my granddaddy knew it, my daddy knew it, and it got passed down to me. And I saw the world through a third generation entrepreneur's lenses. And so I just see things differently. But I see things differently because I really, really focus on collecting data. Data is a big deal to me. I've got attention deficit disorder, but I also have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So data helps me keep track of the things, the balls that I would drop because of my ADD, and my OCD kicks in because I like to obsess over these numbers. So I kept a 10-year spreadsheet on all of my leads that came in every week, what our closing ratio is, what the individual closing ratios were for the different salespeople, what the closing ratio was each day of the week, how many leads came in each day of the week, what our closing ratio was for that day of the week, all of our advertising channels, and what the individual leads that came in for those, and the individual closing ratio for every single one of those advertising or lead channels. And so I kept this spreadsheet, and over 10 years, I can tell you what the number one, number two, and number three lead magnets were for me and my business. And it's very likely for you and your business because I did a lot of different types of advertising that many, many service businesses do for their type of advertising. But these were my top three after 10 years. These were my top three lead getters, and they accounted for probably 50% of all the leads that came into my company. And this was a $4.8 million a year 18 service truck, 18 sales truck, 36 vehicle soft washing company. All right, so here it goes. The number one, number one biggest lead getter for us was repeat customers. And that is really the hallmark of knowing that you have a successful and healthy business. You've got to say successful and you have to say healthy. Those two things have to be considered together. You can't just sell a lot of business, complete a bunch of production. You have to be profitable too, and you have to see that profit. It just can't be a profit on your financial statement, on your balance sheet, because you may not see that. You could have paid down debt or depreciated some equipment, or there's some things, trickery, I call it, smoke and mirrors that you do with your accounting. But can you actually go to the bank and check out hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the bank and roll around in it naked if you wanted to? Okay? Do you actually have cash liquidity? And the way you do that is you have repeat customers that aren't customers anymore. They become clients. I get that from Howard Partridge and his 5 stages of customer growth. And so when you look at that, are these people that aren't only buying from you one time, but they're buying from you over and over and over again? All right. Number two biggest lead getter for us over a 10-year period was referrals. Those repeat customers loved our company so much, were so satisfied, were engaged by our process, that they became raving, fanatical fans of our business. What I like to call a non-staffed or non-salaried salesperson. And they ran around telling other people about our business. Again, it is a hallmark trait. It is a health indicator of a company that is successful and profitable, a company that is sustainable, a company that has margin, a company that is healthy, if they are getting a lot of referral business. That not only are they doing one-time jobs, but they're turning those customers into clients who are buying from them regularly. And then those clients are telling other people about them. So those clients are growing their business. All right. So number 2 was referrals. And then the number 3, biggest lead grabber for us, biggest lead magnet, the thing that made the phones ring, that got us in front of customers, that gave us the ability to do more proposals and win more business and grow our company, was warranty claims. Warranty claims. And that's a whole nother discussion for another time. I'm just going to throw that grenade out there for you guys. and let you guys kind of think about that. But warranty claims. So number one was repeats, number two was referrals, and number three was warranties. These are the three hallmark indicators, health index of companies that are thriving, that are healthy, that have margin, that are showing a profit, and aren't spending a bunch of money on the drug, okay? The drug of advertising, the addiction of advertising, the flashy, self-glorifying thing of advertising. Now, I'm not saying all advertising is bad, but I'm saying that you can become addicted to advertising, like you can become addicted to alcohol, you can become addicted to sex, you can become addicted to food, which are all good things. You see what I'm saying? But when good things take over your life and start to suck away from other good things and create an imbalance, then it becomes an addiction. And many of you guys are addicted to marketing out there. But that's another whole discussion for another time. You can come to one of my classes or workshops and we'll tell you all about that, okay? All right, so let's jump into the next slide because I'm warming up the water in the pot, remember? You guys are now thinking, you're going, repeats, referrals, and warranty claims. Wow, those were the number one, number two, and number three lead magnets for AC and his $4.8 million a year company. He kept a 10-year spreadsheet on that, okay? I didn't see Google ads there, didn't see pay-per-click, didn't see yellow pages, didn't see TV advertising. You know, a lot of the things I would have thought were the big ones. Didn't see rock flyers, didn't see popcorn marketing, didn't see some of the hallmarks of what AC teaches in marketing. Those are all good to get the phone ringing and rolling. But when you're healthy, when the company gets to that age of maturity, when you're off of milk and onto meat, repeats, referrals, and warranty claims are where you want to be. All right, cool. And this is why. You know, Howard said, I don't care about pay-per-click. I don't care about SEO. I don't want you to find my company on the internet. And you guys were like, holy smokes, that's controversial. Say it isn't so, Howard. I mean, the internet was where everybody finds out about your company. It's where everybody does their advertising. It's where everybody goes to make a decision. Nope, it's not true. It's not true. Don't buy into it. Do some people? Yes. Can you make a lot of money on the internet? Sure. Are there a lot of products that are only internet products? You betcha. But we're talking about service businesses. We're talking about your business. We're talking about how do you get people to buy from you and how do they find out about you and what's the best way for them to find out about you. We're talking about dating. Is it better to find a girl on the internet through a dating site? Or is it better if you have a friend that says, hey, you know, I met this girl, you know, she's a friend of the girl that I'm dating, and she's really sweet. And I know you like redheads and you know, I know you like, you know, girls at law XYZ PDQ, and she's funny and she's nice to be around here. I think you guys would be a good match. Let's go out and double date. You know, I'll go out with my girlfriend. I'll invite you. She'll invite her friend. We'll call it a double date, a group date. Let me introduce you to this girl. What is better, the internet dating site or that? That's the example that we're giving you here, guys. And you're not getting it. You're not getting it because you're addicted. You're addicted to advertising and to paying money so you could sit on your couch and wait for the phone to ring to go out and run a lead, or not even run the lead, quote it over the internet. Shame on you. Shame on you. Quote it over the internet. And then you end up dating and marrying a customer that you don't even like. So what has happened now is the internet is just the new yellow pages. It's just the new yellow pages. And so we're surprised that now when we use the internet or Angie or whatever you're using out there, pay-per-click, social media, and I love social media. I've built businesses on social media because I'm building an international business and I can't reach people just merely by referral. I got to start the wave, and I'm still in a growing phase. I'm trying to get to 1,000 companies doing $1 million each to have a $1 billion network. Yeah, I still do some advertising, but most of all the advertising I do is organic. non-paid. It doesn't cost me any money. I'm on Facebook 2.5 hours a day. The internet, pay-per-click advertising, and all these other ways to get business on the internet is just the new yellow pages. And it's good. There's a positive to it, but there is also a negative to it. So the positive is, really the positive is, especially if you're starting a brand new company, is number one, new customers can in fact find your company on the internet. And that's a good thing. And if you're just starting out, you've got to get some customers to get satisfied customers to turn them into client and then turn them into stock raving fanatical fans of your business that then become non-salaried, non-staffed salespeople for you. To get that ball rolling, you've got to get your lead somewhere. You can knock on doors and you could go and visit businesses and management companies and realtors, but you can also do it on the internet. And I'm just saying, that's good. Is it the most profitable way to do it? No. Is it the least competition way to do it? I mean, are other people going to show up to the job that you're quoting? Sure. Does it complicate things? Absolutely. Is it completely evil? No, I'm not saying it's completely evil. I'm just saying there's a preferred way to do it. There's a preferred way to do it. And the negative reason here is because customers can find your competition on the internet too. And this is why Howard, guys, this is why Howard said, I don't care about PPC. I don't care about SEO. I don't want my customers to find me on the internet because they're going to find my competitors on the internet too. And now I'm going to have to fight twice as hard to earn that business. It's the point we're making here, guys, because I'm heating up the pot starting to boil now, okay? If you're in here, you're taking it. I'm hitting you hard now because you're lazy, because you're conceited, because you have an ego and you want to see your logo on the internet, you want to pay for these ads, because you're non-confrontational, because you haven't been trained to sell, because you don't have, excuse me, because you're allergic to human contact. Woo! You would rather pay a fee for somebody else to make your phone ring so that you don't have to have human contact with a customer to let them quote their service on your computer without interacting with you. Man, that's the way the world is going. But when did anybody ever say that just because the world was going that direction and everybody was doing it, that it was the right thing to do? When did anybody say that just because the whole world is doing it and everybody else is going that direction, that it's the right thing to do? So guys, the internet's just the new yellow pages. And some of us that have been around long enough know that we used to use the yellow pages, but whenever we got a yellow pages call, we got that call and so did 2 or 3 other of our competitors. And when we got there, it just became a race to the bottom. Unless you were really good at sales and you were really good at differentiating, and then you might win some of those customers. Okay? So now I'm getting ready to turn it up on a full boil now. We're going to talk about why I feel like that in your business, depending on what kind of business you want to have, where you want to get with your business, when are you getting comfortable, because you could say, hey, this is the life I want to have. This is the time I want to have. This is my perfect ideal lifestyle. And build your business to get there, not build your business any bigger than that. You don't need a huge high horsepower engine. If your lifestyle you want to have is down here, not up here, when you finally arrive in your business, do you have to advertise anymore? So let's look at that, okay? And I mentioned, again, this is a battle over price here. All right, so let's talk about a job approval rating. Now, this is something you guys heard of before. In the presidential world, Donald Trump had a 30-something% job approval rating. It's very hard to get reelected as president when your job approval rating is down in the 30s. Okay, it's very difficult to do. And even Joe Biden right now has a job approval rating down in the 30s. And so you say, hey, that's a tough road to hoe. So let's talk about a job approval rating. What is a job approval rating for you guys, for your company, and what does it mean to you? Well, let's look at the ideal situation, okay? Let's say you have a 100% job approval rating. You're perfect. Every job you do, every customer you do the job perfect. There's no issues or problems. Your customer service is stellar. Your customer service and job follow-up after the sale is just absolutely on mark. It's stellar. You're firing on all cylinders, and all of your customers love you. And all of your customers love you enough to where they would use you again when they need their home cleaned or their roof cleaned or their gutters cleaned out. Remember, guys, most service businesses are in a repeat business type of thing. It's not a one-time shot with us. There's a lot of things that need cleaned on a home, repaired on a home, fixed on a home, painted on a home, mowed on a home, sprayed for bugs on a home. This is an ongoing thing. So if you had a 100% job approval rating, then within 12 months of you putting your first truck on the road, and if you wanted to be, we'll just stick at a one truck company, just to keep this analogy clean. In 12 months between your repeat customers, and then remember, if they're that happy, they're going to tell other people about you. Within 12 months, that truck is fully booked and you're having to put a second truck on the road because they're not only happy with you to use you again, they're happy with you to tell other people about you. All right. So 100% job approval rating means that from the day you start, like the industry I'm in, your exterior cleaning business, within 12 months, that truck is fully booked. You don't have to advertise for it anymore. All right. So let's say, okay, we're not all perfect, right? Not perfect. We get this, right? Okay. Let's go to a 70% job approval rating. A 70% job approval rating means that, again, if your customers are happy with you, 70% of them, that they'll use you again and they're referring people to you. Within 18 months, your truck is fully booked. You don't have to advertise for it anymore. You just keep your customers happy. They rave about you. They'll tell other people about you, and you'll grow 15% a year just from that. Healthy growth for a company is 15% per year if you're keeping your customers happy. So at a 70% job approval rating, understanding that some people are wackos, not everybody's going to be happy with you. This is the sweet spot. If you can get to 70%, you're killing it. Congratulations, man. You can't really get any better than this because 100% is a dream world, right? All right, so now let's go to the next one. A 50% job approval rating. This means that half of your jobs you do well, the customers are happy enough to use you again, and they're telling other people about your company. That means from the time you start your business to the time your truck you're fully booked, you don't have to advertise anymore, you're done. Just off of repeats and referrals, your company will grow 15% per year. You're at 24 months, you're done. And that's where most companies are at. You start your pressure washing business. If you stay a one truck company within 24 months, you could just keep up with just the outflow from your happy customers. And this is where most companies are at. You could grow another 20% and get to 70 and really be a rock star as far as I'm concerned. But most companies, they're at that 50% mark. And if you're listening to this talk, this might be you. But what we find out is then there's some people that are just keeping 30%. Now remember, 30% means you've had your company for 3 years. You still have one truck on the road. If you're at a 30% job approval rating, if your job approval rating is as low as Donald Trump's and Joe Biden, remember, Donald Trump did not get reelected, and Joe Biden is not going to get reelected with a 30% job approval rating. It's not going to happen. At 30%, even being a failure in 3 years between what customers like you and continue to use you and tell other people about you, in 3 years, your truck will be fully booked. So now here's where I got the water up to a boil, because here's where you're at. is if you own a business, a service business right now, and you're an owner operator, you've got one truck on the road and you're still having to advertise, that means you have a job approval rating less than Joe Biden. I don't mean to get political here, but I mean, everybody would say, even Democrats, he's doing a lousy job. Inflation, the economy starting to cascade down, leadership, all the stuff that's going on. You know, we're starting to get back into Jimmy Carter-esque type stuff. And I'm not going to go on that tangent. Stop that, okay? But the bottom line is, whether you're a Donald Trump guy or a Joe Biden guy or gal, the bottom line is both of them had a 30% and change job approval rating, and they're not doing a favorable job in the eyes of the people that they're trying to govern. But even at that, in 36 months, your truck should be busy. If it's not, you're still advertising. That means you have a less than 30% job approval rating, and you are a failure in your service business. You're an absolute failure. Because even at a 20% job approval rating, in 60 months, your truck is going to be booked. How many people listening to this video right now have 1 or 2 trucks on the road, are at 60 months plus in their business, and are still having to spend money every month advertising? How many of you guys? And that's the problem. Because you think, this is the problem. You get in your head, I can't hire anybody. Nobody's going to do as good a job as me. I'm the greatest roof cleaner in the world. I'm the greatest window cleaner in the world. I'm the greatest carpet cleaner in the world. Nobody can do the craft as well as me. And the fact of the matter is, if you ask your customers, you suck at what you do. You're not good at your craft. You leave a lot of things unfinished. You make a lot of excuses for your workmanship. And I'll give you an example, and this is going to hit home. And when I say this, your mind is going to open up, and you're going to see what really happens in this world. Hopefully, I pray that it does, that you see this. How many of us have been at a restaurant before? That you go to the restaurant, it's the first time you've been there. The food isn't good. The service isn't good. The bathrooms were dirty. The place looks wore out. You're saying in your mind, man, I am never going to come back here again. This was awful. Your steak came out, it was undercooked, and you're afraid to send it back because you think somebody's going to spit on it, right? That kind of restaurant. And the waitress comes up to you during your meal, after you've asked her 5 times to refill your Diet Coke, and says, oh, how was your meal? Is everything good? And you smile and look, oh yeah, everything's great. Thank you so much. It's awesome. And you get your bill. And as you're walking out of the restaurant, you look at your wife, you look at your friend, you look at your team, and you go, we are never going back there again. And as far as that waitress is concerned, you know, the owner's waving at you as you go out. Bye, have a nice day. And you're like, yeah, have a nice day. And you're like, see you soon. And you're like, oh yeah, see you soon. And you're lying to them. You're being so passive aggressive that passive aggressive people think that you're passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? That's what people are doing with your service business. If you were less than a 50% job approval rating, if you're down in the 30s or 20s, if you're at 36 months and you're still having the advertising, if you're at 60 months and you're still having to advertise, and you're spending money on advertising, and your number 1, number 2, and number 3 lead generators are not repeats, referrals, and warranty claims, you are absolutely failing as a business owner. And that is the reason why Howard said, I do not care about SEO. I do not care about pay-per-click. I do not want my customers to find me on the internet. Is because, number 1, they don't have to. Because Howard's current clients are using him over and over again in his carpet cleaning business. And they're so happy with him that they're referring him business every day. And sure, he spends money on referral rewards back to his customers. But the amount he spends is far less than what would have been his advertising budget to get that phone to ring after dissatisfying one customer, after the next customer, after the next customer. Because if you are in that 30% or 20%, if you're at 36 or 60 months and you have 1 or 2 trucks on the road and you're still spending money on advertising, you're having to do that because your customers are not happy with you and you're doing a poor job. If you were doing a great job and you took that money that you were spending on advertising and put it into training, put it into consulting, put it into leadership development, put it into business systems, put it into higher wages for your people, you too would not have to advertise to get customers. Stop being a failure in your business. Hey, listen, guys, I wrote a little book. It's called The 5 Keys to Pattern Success. It's for sale on Amazon right now, on hardback, as well as in Kindle. We'll have the audiobook out this summer of 2022. Please go to Amazon and buy this book, because some of the stuff I just gave you, imagine a 210-page book with great advice just like this on how to be successful, how to pattern success and replicate success over and over again in your personal and business life. Okay? Hey guys, this is AC Lockyer. Go forth and prosper.